Hello friends, welcome to this special edition of the Kumbi-Gikku Show on the Gikkudiaries YouTube channel. 70 matches of IPL 2025 and we now are down to the top 4. And today being the first of the playoffs, Qualifier 1 in New Chandigarh between the top 2 teams, Punjab Kings and Royal Challengers Bengaluru. And to discuss what we can expect from this exciting contest is our good old friend K. Srinath, the former player and now the current BCCI umpire. Welcome, Sri. All looking up to the Qualifier 1. How excited are you?
Yeah, of course. Now we are to the business end of the tournament. 4 more games to go. Very excited about the prospect of looking forward to a thriller tonight at Mulanpur.
If the IPL had gone as per the original schedule, by now we would have known who the winner was. But then we still have to wait for 6 days to get the winner. And today's winner for sure goes directly into the final. Punjab Kings versus RCB. Who is your favorite to get to the final today?
I think my gut says RCB because it's not one strike for these two teams. The luxury of finishing in the top 2 gives you that extra cushion of playing one more game or having one more strike to play the qualifier 2 against the winner of the eliminator. So with the momentum under their belt, fabulous run chase, which looked improbable at one point in time for RCB in the last game against LSG, and most of their batters striking form. My gut says maybe 55-45 in favor of RCB. So I'm looking at a result that is going to go in favor of the Royal Challengers Bengaluru.
I am feeling that it is going to be Punjab Kings all the way, not just because of the Ricky Ponting, Shreyas Iyer combination, but the overall consistency that they have shown in this IPL, right from their openers, Rabsimran Singh, who has not been talked much about, and the left-right hand combination of him and the left-hander Priyan Sharia, who already has 100 in this IPL, and the middle order, and of course they have the Shashank Singh, who has probably taken his game a notch up from the previous year. And of course, the bowling, though they may miss the services of Marco Jansen, and there is also this injury doubt over the participation of their key bowler, Yuzvendra Chahal. How do you look at the whole scenario?
Yeah, I think it was a known entity that Jansen was going to fly back because he was getting ready to prepare himself for the WTC final that is to start in Lords from the 11th of June. So that was a known entity, and they have the requisite replacements for that. But yes, of course, big shoes to fill. Just not only a tall, lanky left-arm fast bowler who adds value in bowling, has had some brilliant outings in the field, especially with his height. He's taken some brilliant catches in the outfield. Adding to that, a very handy lower-order batter. Yes, they will miss his services. But to me, the worry is about Yuzi Chahal, because the successful bowlers in the history of IPL have been wrist spinners and left-arm spinners. And Chahal has been one of the top bowlers along with Kuldeep Yadav, who's done extremely well for whichever franchise he's played. Yeah, that's a bit of a concern. But certainly, yes, as you mentioned, the top 2 teams that have finished in the top 4 in this edition of the IPL are by far the 2 best sides in terms of the brand of cricket they've played, the consistency with which they've performed. Both sides have had very good batting performances, equally good bowling performances also. Yes, these 2 one injury concern and one player not available, and we are not pretty sure about the availability of Yuzi Chahal still. If he's available, yes, it's a massive bonus for Punjab Kings. But if he's not, yes, they still have to get onto the park with the available replacement.
And Punjab Kings will be playing RCB for the first ever time in the Qualifier 1. And RCB, though they have played Qualifier 1 twice before, they have had mixed results, winning one, getting directly into the final in 2000. And one other occasion where they lost and had to go through the the qualifier 2. Punjab Kings not having made to the playoffs for the last 12 editions, including this, they have made it. How much would that matter, and or how much of the experience of playing in the qualifiers and the playoffs for RCB, will that make a difference at all?
Yeah, certainly, as we were discussing a couple of days ago, the team which has been in the playoffs, played in the literal knockouts, certainly they would have more experience of facing such situations. Yes, nothing much to separate from both the sides per se, because they've played against each other 35 times, and it's been 18-17 in favor of Punjab Kings. That's history, and they've played against each other twice this year. Low scoring game because of a rain interruption in Bengaluru, and then back home it was a comfortable victory for RCB. So nothing much to separate per se in terms of this. Just adding a tinge of history into this playoffs thing, Jiko. 2011 was the first time when the IPL decided to introduce this playoff format. Since then, history shows that majority of the times, the team that has finished number 2 in the top 4 has gone on to win the IPL. So could it be a turnaround and maybe history again being repeated for RCB? But yes, certainly being there more number of times, RCB is seen it all, and especially with their Pied Piper, the man who's turned out in the red and gold, and every year in one game they play with the green to support the environment. I think Virat Kohli knows it all. It's just not only turning out in playoffs for RCB in the IPL, but he's been part of multiple events turning out for India in knockouts. So the team which can hold themselves and handle pressure well, I think that's the key for today's game.
Well, that's a very interesting fact that you mentioned about the team that finished second in the points table go on to win the trophy more often. And this also adds to the fact that you mentioned earlier that this being the 18th edition of IPL, Virat Kohli wearing the 18 number on his shirt, and everything seems to be working in favor of RCB. But all these years, why haven't they been able to win a single title, with Virat Kohli being perhaps the one player who has played in all the editions for just one particular franchisee? Of course, there have been a few others who have been right from first edition, but for not the same single team. Why haven't they been able to win a single title? They have been runners-up twice. They have been in the playoffs more often in the last few years. Why?
I think there are multiple reasons for that, Jiku. More often than not, I think they have been overtly dependent on their top 3 or 4 batters. It started off when Chris Gayle turned out for RCB with Virat Kohli, and they had AB de Villiers. And it was more of a top-heavy batting side. And those were the days when Chinnaswamy used to dole out, pitches that were made of concrete. And what is there in the air in Bengaluru is something unknown. Anything that was hit in there used to clear the stands. And I think the bowling always was a worry for them. And down the line, when they started gelling together as a unit, a couple of 3-4 years back, they let go of Yuzi Chahal, who was by far their best wrist spinner. So somewhere striking the right combination, getting the right picks for the team was a bit of a concern. But I think this was the 2025 edition 18, number 18 Virat Kohli. I think this was the year when they got all their bases covered. So that is a testimony to the way the team has played and where they have finished. I think the reasons have been multiple, as I said, but I think that's all history now. They have put all those things behind. I think now they are looking like a well-molded and rounded side. As I said, having all their boxes ticked and bases covered. So why not? I think, as I mentioned a few shows ago, I'm basically not a very strong number man or believe in numerology, or many a times history can say anything head to head or what somebody has done in a knockout phase or in the league phase. But end of the day, it's all about today evening, how both the teams turn out and how they're going to handle the aura and pressure of qualifier 1.
Right, and I believe if this time if RCB cannot win the IPL title when everything seems to be working in their favor, the form, the players' form, the individual performances add to the team's success, and that they have been doing fantastically well. with Virat Kohli at the top. And they also are boosted by the return of Josh Hazlewood for the playoffs. And also there is encouraging signs of Tim David more likely to play. So that further does good things for RCB looking into the entry to the final. So it is only theirs to lose this match and this title is what I feel.
Absolutely. I mean, normally headaches are, troublesome, but this is a happy headache for RCB. In fact, Nuwan Tusara just came in the last game, was thrown into the deep end of the sea where 460 runs were scored. He came out with flying colors, bowling his 4 overs for 26 runs and picked up 1 wicket. He bowled 2 overs in the power play, mind you. So now it's a happy headache because you have only 4 foreigners who can play in the playing 11. And if Liam Livingstone is fit, who do you bring in? So rather, Tim David is fit. So Liam Livingstone is the guy who's going to go out. If you have to fit in Josh Hazlewood, now will you axe the likes of Nuwan Tushara? I think that's a tough call to take. And yeah, it's a bit of a happy headache, as I said, for the RCB management. My gut says because their top order is heavy, they've got Phil Salt and Virat who've done extremely well. Mayank running into form in the last game and welcome, brilliant 83 not out by the stand-in captain Jitesh Sharma. And they've got Romario Shepherd to do the job of a finisher at the end. So I feel, somewhere that they should be playing both Tushara and Hazelwood because you're looking at 8 overs of quality bowling and all 8 overs possibly could fetch you wickets. And you're up against, by far, I would say, the number 2 opening pair in this IPL. Priyansh Arya and Prabsimran Singh. They have just been a tad behind Sai Sudarshan and Shubman Gill. So to break the backbone of the Punjab Kings batting would be to get these 2 batters early. If RCB can, make inroads and create the dent up front in the first 6 overs, for that I feel, they can have the luxury of playing both Hazelwood as well as Tushara. So it's just that, we always talk about horses for courses. It's just that, unlucky if Tim David misses out because they have the cushion. In fact, there's Krunal Pandya also who can be extremely handy with the bat, which we saw in a game against the Delhi Capitals in Delhi. So I feel if one change that has to take place, it has to be Hazelwood coming in and maybe replacing Livingston. But my one more worry, Jiko, is what is making the management of RCB to persist with maybe 60-70% fit Rajat Patidar?
Mm-hmm. Because
he's not done much in the last couple of games or 3 games when he's come in and played as an impact player. We saw somebody like Tushara, an unknown entity. He's not played much of leagues across the world and the LSG batters found it very tough to pick him. So just watching his videos to devise a strategy for him for Punjab Kings also would be tough. So that's one plus. I mean, my call is, play somebody like Swastik Chikara as an impact player. No, he could be somebody who can hit the long ball and, give you that cushion. So even that is one area where RCB could also look at him play as a floater, if required up the order or bat in the middle where they need the finishing touches. So that also could be one more option. So yes, this is my playing 11 which I would look at for RCB. Hazelwood coming in instead of Livingston, that's a one change. And maybe, have somebody like Swastik Chikara as an impact player instead ahead of Rajat Patidar.
Very interesting, Sri. And you spoke about the bowling of Hazelwood against the openers of Punjab Kings. How about the bowling of Punjab Kings, Arshdeep Singh, and don't forget Vaishak Vijayakumar, who has been impressive in the little chances that he got. And if I recall correct, it was Vaishak Vijayakumar who was key in Punjab Kings winning against RCB in the early days of this league IPL 2025. So them against the left, right, the openers of RCB, Phil Salt and Virat Kohli. That would be quite interesting. How do you look at it?
Absolutely. I think, Punjab Kings have ticked most of the boxes coming to their batting. First of all, their opening batters have been gun. They've been spot on, and they've given them flying starts. Followed by, leading from the front has been Captain Shreyas Iyer. You spoke about Shashank Singh being the unsung hero. Gone about his job quietly. We have Nehal Vadera, who's contributed extremely well. And mind you, they have Stoinis, the big hitter from Australia, and he can tonk the ball a long way, and he can bowl his seam up and make up for those overs in the middle. And yes, Josh English, another dynamic, free-flowing batter from Australia, doubling up as a wicket-keeper. Yes, as far as batting goes, Punjab Kings have looked around its side with the economical and crafty bowling from Harpreet Brar. We have had Arshdeep Singh, Vaishak Vijay Kumar, more than a handful. Stone is filling up with his overs. Yes, Janssen would be big boots to fill. But yes, my only concern is about the second spinning option for Punjab Kings. If they can get somebody like Yuzi Chahal, who's even 70-75% fit on the field, I think that would be a massive bonus for them. But having said that, overall, I think man to man or on paper, what we talk, I think RCB has got that slight edge over Punjab Kings.
And this also be a contest of the two captains, one an experienced title winner in Shreyas Iyer, and another, the stand-in captain, who doesn't seem to be affected by the pressures of captaincy, like we saw him play that unbelievable knock of 85 not out in the previous game against LSG, isn't it? So unbelievable. So two contrasting captains guided by World Cup winning, and somebody who has won almost everything in international cricket, Ricky Ponting for Punjab Kings, and somebody who is a seasoned, brilliant batsman of his days, Andy Flower for RCB. The heads that will go into who wins today, who you think is in a better position?
Yeah, I mean, I believe it's still RCB because of not only the current form. As I mentioned, it's about the experience of playing in more playoffs. Yes, I'm not, discounting Punjab Kings by any stretch of imagination because Shreyas Iyer has been in the saddle. He's had a title last year with KKR. He's now taken this team into the playoffs, made it the number one team. And when he was with Delhi Capitals, after many years, he got them into the playoffs. And they made it to the finals, actually. They lost in the finals when the IPL happened during COVID in Abu Dhabi. So you can't take away anything from what they have done so far. But as both the managements have, made vocal statements saying that our manifestation was to get into the top two, which has happened. In fact, Ponting has been very vociferous. He said, we've achieved nothing so far. I mean, that comes from a man, as you said, he's won anything under the sun for Australia. And he certainly would be hungry that he's been around the IPL, starting with Mumbai Indians, then moving on to Delhi Capitals, and now with Punjab Kings. He certainly won't, throw in the towel or a sign off from IPL saying, I would not have one IPL trophy under my mentorship or being the coach of any of the franchisees. Yes, that's it. And as I said, a lot of big names and people have been in this situation before. As I said, pressure and not being, sucked into the qualifier aura. I think that's the team that's going to, book the tickets to Ahmedabad. And they'll be in the Narendra Modi Stadium on the 3rd of June.
Right. I read somewhere where Shreyas Iyer has said he said we were not looking at just playing the playoffs, but looking at winning the title. That is something that speaks of the confidence of Shreyas Iyer, and perhaps all the stars are also aligned in favor of Punjab Kings because of their finishing on top. Shreyas Iyer winning for KKR the title last year. Now maybe change of teams. Punjab Kings making it to the playoffs after so many years. You never know. It's all just the belief, and of course, all these beliefs will go for a toss, and it's how the players perform on the field, and like you mentioned, how they handle pressure and all those sorts of things in the across those 22 yards. And there was also something interesting. Maybe RCB boosted by perhaps the message from AB de Villiers, who said that if RCB win their qualifier 1, he is going to be there at the Narendra Modi Stadium not just watching the final, but lifting the trophy with Virat Kohli, something that he could not lay his hands on. That's confidence of a different level, isn't it?
Yeah, and absolutely. He's been an icon in world cricket, and one of those loyalists who turned out for RCB time and again and did wonderfully well. That's a very strong message that would have lifted the morale of RCB. I don't think anything external, needs to be done for RCB as of now. It's just about 36 hours break they've had, and they come in with strong momentum. But just before we finish off, Jikku, there's one thing I want to talk about Punjab Kings as a side. I think to me they've looked the best side in this IPL because of one reason. I think you look at the Indian players who've contributed to the success, getting them into the top four. It's been Indian players. That the fulcrum of their side has been the contribution by the Indian batters. It's been Priyan Charya, it's been Prabsimran Singh, it's been Shreyas Iyer, it's been Shashank Singh, Nehal Vadera, Harpreet Brar, Harshdeep Singh, Yuzi Chahal. I mean, not taking away the contribution of Janssen or Stoinis or English. But overall, in this edition, if you look at any of the 10 IPL franchises, the contribution from Indian players, and mind you, the names I mentioned, barring Shreyas Iyer and Yuzi Chahal, the rest of them are all uncapped players. So that's a massive message, and not only for the future of the franchisee of Punjab Kings, but overall for cricket in India. I think that's the way Ricky Ponting, and credit goes to Shreyas Iyer for having backed these boys, and told them that you're on the park. You believe you guys are there to do the job. I think this is something that not many people have addressed or spoken about. I think it's the uncapped Indian boys who've done wonders for Punjab Kings.
Brilliant, brilliant. So that's fantastic, and that will definitely make this for an even more exciting contest. Forget all that has happened in the past. A new, fresh game. Punjab Kings versus RCB Qualifier 1. I can't just wait for not even the toss to happen, for the first ball to be bowled. So on that note, we'll say goodbye to our viewers. Thanks, Sri, and see you again in about 24 hours time, reviewing this match and also looking ahead to the eliminator. Have a nice day. Thank you, friends. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jikku. See you soon.
Yes, bye-bye.